We all know that feeling, productive, locked in, and moving with the right energy. Then all of a sudden you catch yourself looking at your phone, scrolling on Instagram. And scrolling through your Explore feed, you see it. Even in that little thumbnail, you see that perfect feminine body, and your base instincts kick in. The lust starts to control you, and usually you slip up and go back to the habits that you promised you're not going to do again. The thing is, it destroys your dopamine. You have like 3 tabs open watching 10 different videos, and now you lost motivation to go out and meet real women. It makes you weaker, tired, and ashamed of yourself. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 strategies that will help you overcome this lust, because it's a very hard thing to do. Number 1, be honest with yourself. My question for you is, why you do this? What is the reason why you sleep up and watch these adult videos? Just stop for a second and think about it. How come you keep doing this thing that you know it's harmful for you? For me personally, I did it because it felt good. I was sitting at home and I got bored, so I could do this thing that gave me this reward. And even though it was a fake reward and for a short period of time, I did it anyways. And why it feels impossible to break this bad habit? Because it gives you pleasure. It keeps you hide from the pain that you don't have a real woman. That's why every guy has this bad habit. It's easier than going and meeting someone in real life. This is the first step. You have to admit that it's a bad habit, but nothing is wrong with you. Number 2, limit triggers and temptations. What it means is that lustful thoughts often arise because of external triggers, things you see, hear, or engage with. By limiting exposure to these triggers, you make it easier to resist urges. But be honest with yourself about what triggers your lustful thoughts. It could be certain social media accounts, specific types of movies, or certain locations or situations. For me, it was when I was home alone. I felt this feeling ongoing to that site every minute. And it was so strong that even if I had work to do, that thought would appear in my mind. Once you identify these triggers, you can work towards reducing or eliminating them. Here are some things that you can do. Reduce digital temptations, like use tools such as website blockers or time limit apps to restrict access to content that can fuel your lust. This could include adult content, certain social media platforms, or even dating apps. I personally found this really helpful. If you have an iPhone or on Android, I don't know. If you have an iPhone, go to settings and go to screen time, and then click on content and privacy and turn on these options. And if you try to enter on these websites, it will block your access on it. Try controlling your environment, like stay away from environments that encourage or normalize lustful behavior. This might mean changing your entertainment choices, avoiding certain friend groups, or simply not placing yourself in tempting situations. For example, being alone in your room for too much time. Replace with positive alternatives, like instead of allowing time for temptation to build up, spend your time on uplifting activities that will give you healthy dopamine. Activities like reading, learning new skills, going out in nature, or lifting weights. These are activities that give you good and healthy dopamine. Number 3, and it might sound stupid, but you know when you're talking about something like cat toys and then all of a sudden Google recommends you ads with cat toys? Your phone's microphone might be turned on all the time and listening to you. And what if cameras are also turned on? Think about this. You might be exposed while you do that dirty stuff. Think about how you look when you do it. Would you like someone to see you doing this? Of course not, because that's why you close in your room and do it alone. And if you don't believe this camera turned on thing, think about God. He's watching all the time. And what would be his reaction when he sees you do this? He created you to have a purpose in your life, a purpose to fulfill. And what do? Close in your room and smash your pickle? Think about it. Let's be real. Social media is the place where you get triggered. It's the place where you see women dressed with no so much clothes, pretty faces, and perfect bodies. And that's triggering that last cycle which keeps repeating. And that is not normal, because when you see a beautiful woman in real life, You feel the energy to go and talk to her and meet her. This is natural. This feeling that you feel when you're on social media is not natural. And each of these strategies build one on another. Overcoming lust isn't something that happens overnight, but through consistent practice, you'll see progress. Join my free community by clicking the first link in the description. There I'll give you free valuable information and enter with you on live calls. I'm trying to build a community with like-minded people to help each other. See you next time.